Hello students, welcome to a new lecture of organic compounds in which we are studying about named reactions. Right, in the previous class we have seen about Williamson's ether synthesis in which haloalkane reacts with alkoxide. Now the next reaction which we are studying is Wurtz reaction, WURTZ reaction, which is called as Wurtz reaction. And this reaction is also with haloalkanes only. So what I will do, I will take the general formula as Rx only. But there it was reacting with sodium alkoxide. Here the reaction is not with sodium alkoxide, just with sodium. Na, don't write Na plus. Sodium metal is taken in the presence of dry ether as a solvent. Otherwise, if I write dry ether, you will get confused between Williamson's ether and that ether. Okay. Alkyl halides or haloalkane 2 times 2 moles of sodium is there. 2 moles of alkyl halides or haloalkane reacts with sodium metal to give you alkane having double the number of carbons in them plus NaCl, NaCl, NF, NAF, NaBr, NaBr, NaI, NaI. So instead of writing all of them, what I will write? I will write just NaI. How many NAs? 2. X. How many X? From one haloalkane, 1 X. From another haloalkane, another X. Therefore, I have taken 2 sodium metal. Right? This is the general reaction. If I take example, then it will be clear to you. Which haloalkane shall I take? Let me take methyl chlorine only. Let me take chloromethane only. Right? This is 1 chloromethane. I will take another chloromethane 2 times. Okay. Sodium is how many times? Sodium 1 time. Sodium 2 times. Right? In the exam, you don't write this sodium at the bottom. It is for our understanding only. Sodium written here is enough. Right? One sodium forms NaCl. Another sodium forms another NaCl. So, how many NaCl you got? 2 NaCl. In Williamson's ether synthesis, you got only 1 NaCl. But here you will get 2 NaCl. From one haloalkane, 1 NaCl. From another haloalkane, another NaCl. Right? Broken. This carbon gets positive. This carbon will be attacked with this carbon. So, both of them gets connected in this manner. CH3 is of one haloalkane is connected to CH3 of another haloalkane. Now, if you compare the number of carbons in haloalkane and the alkane which you got as a product, in haloalkane you had only 1 carbon, but in the alkane of product you got double the number of carbons. This reaction was with the example of chloromethane. But if I take chloroethane, what happens? Even here also you get double the number of carbons. Same reaction takes place, but double the number of carbons even here also. Right? 2 times sodium, NaCl with 1 chloroethane, NaCl with another chloroethane. So, you got 2 NaCl. Now, what is left? CH3, CH2 is connected with CH2, CH3. You cannot connect CH3, CH2 with CH3, CH2. It is wrong. It is broken from this side. It is broken from this side. It is broken from this side. Chlorine broken. They should be connected. You cannot connect this way or you cannot connect this way. Broken part is this. Broken part is this. Connected this way. So, this carbon should be connected to this carbon only, not other way round. So, what I will do? CH3, CH2 is broken from this side. Make a bond. With which broken carbon of the other side? This carbon, CH2. CH3. What is the product? This product was ethane. What is the product? Butane. If you compare the number of carbons of haloalkane and the product, here you got 2 carbons, here you got double the number of carbons, which are 4, right? So in Wood's reaction, alkyl halide reacts with sodium metal to give you alkane having double the number of carbons. You cannot say one carbon is converted to 2. Double means if 1 is taken it becomes 2, if 2 is taken it becomes 4, if 3 is taken it becomes 6, whatever it is, it becomes double the number of carbon. It is called as Wood's reaction, right? Now I will take the next reaction, which is called as Wood's fatigue reaction. There is a little difference between Wood's reaction and Wood's fatigue reaction. What is that? Let us see. In Wood's reaction, I have taken haloalkane how many times? 2 times, is it? But in Wood's fatigue reaction, you have to take 1 haloalkane plus another haloarine, means another should be benzene ring with halogen should be 1 reactant, and normal carbon with halogen should be another carbon, haloarine. This only 2 times we have taken for Wood's reaction, but in Wood's fatigue reaction, don't take this only 2 times. What you should take? Haloalkane as 1 time and haloarine as another time. What is the same reagent is sodium metal. How many times? You have to take sodium metal 2 times, and the same reaction takes place in which NaCl with 1 haloalkane, NaCl with this. What happens? This carbon should be connected to this carbon, in which on the benzene ring you get this. What is the name of this product? Alkyl benzene plus NaCl how many times? NaX how many times? 2 times. This is Wood's fatigue reaction. Whenever haloarine is taken as one of the compound, the reaction is becoming as Wood's fatigue. Now this was the general reaction. What we will do now? We will take chloromethane, or shall we take chloroethane? We can take anything. Let us take simpler one, which is chloromethane with chlorobenzene. Is it? This is chloromethane and this is chlorobenzene. What is the reagent? Same sodium metal is the reagent. What happens? 2 NaCl's you will get even here, plus on the benzene ring X group Cl group got broken, and on the CH3 group also Cl group broken. So there is a bond between CH3 and benzene. What is the name of the compound? Methyl benzene. What is the common name of methyl benzene? Is toluene. If you don't remember the correct name, don't even write the wrong name. Whatever name you write should be correct. Either you write methyl benzene or you write toluene, okay, but correctly you write. So this is Wood's fatigue reaction. Wood's reaction was 2 haloalkanes only, but Wood's fatigue reaction is 1 haloalkane, 1 haloarine in the presence of same sodium to give you alkyl benzene. If you take chloromethane, you got methyl benzene. If I take chloroethane, you will get ethyl benzene, right? The reaction is same. Reagents are same, but the product is changing depending on which reactants you are taking. This is Wood's fatigue reaction. Now we will see the next named reaction. Okay, please copy this. Now the next named reaction is Hell-Volhard-Zelinsky reaction, it is commonly called as HVZ reaction. In the exam, if HVZ reaction comes, it is nothing but Helmholtz-Zielinski only. They can ask you in the form of full form or short form, right? Now let us look what is Helmholtz-Zielinski reaction. This reaction is done by carboxylic acids in which alpha hydrogens should be there, right? Can I take acetic acids here? Yes. Which is ethanoic acid or not? Alpha hydrogens means if this is carboxylic acid, beside carboxylic acid there should be a carbon on which hydrogens are compulsory. That means ethanoic acid can undergo HVZ reaction. Yes. Benzoic acid having 5 hydrogens on 5 carbon can undergo HVZ reaction. On this carbon there should be a hydrogen, but is there any hydrogen? Alpha carbon is this, but on alpha carbon there are no hydrogen. So benzoic acid cannot undergo Helmholtz-Zielinski reaction because it don't have any alpha hydrogens. So that alpha hydrogens present in the carboxylic acid reacts with chlorine gas in the presence of red phosphorus as a catalyst. In the presence of red phosphorus as a catalyst, reacts with carboxylic acid having alpha hydrogens in the presence of water also. First reaction is between these two, second reaction is with water to give a final product. Where is alpha hydrogen? On this carbon there was alpha hydrogen. How many? 3. One will be lost and chlorine will come. The remaining is as it is. If there was no alpha hydrogen, you cannot keep chlorine in the place of alpha hydrogen, right? Therefore, alpha hydrogen is must on the carboxylic acid. HVZ reaction is carboxylic acids in which alpha hydrogen is present reacts with chlorine in the presence of red phosphorus to give alpha chloroethanoic acid, bromine in the presence of red phosphorus to give alpha bromoethanoic acid, or whatever group you take, right? So what is the name of this compound? Ethanoic acid. 1, 2. 2 carbon means eth, carboxylic acid means oic acid. Ethanoic acid is the name. What is the name of the product? This is acid. Alpha carbon is this having chloro group. So alpha chloroethanoic acid. You can call it as 2-chloroethanoic acid also. Always ethanoic acid only should be possible. Other acids we cannot take. We can. Let me take propanoic acid. Does it have any alpha hydrogens? Yes, there are 2 alpha hydrogens. In this acid there was 3, but in this acid there is 2. At least one should be present. So I can take even this carboxylic acid also. Does it have any alpha hydrogen? Yes, only 1 is there, but we need only 1. It can be 1, 2 or 3, but at least 1 hydrogen should be present on the alpha carbon of carboxylic acid. Then only HVZ reaction can take place. Otherwise it is not possible. Okay, first reagent is chlorine with red phosphorus. Second is water to give you what? Where is alpha hydrogen? At second carbon. On that carbon only you should attach chlorine, not on the last carbon. Alpha hydrogen where it is, there only you keep chlorine by removing 1 alpha hydrogen. There was total 2. I will remove 1. So I will be left with 1 more. So what is the name? Alpha chloro-propanoic acid. Propanoic acid. Or you can call it as 2-chloropropanoic acid also. This is HVZ reaction, right? Now we will look at the next named reaction, but you please copy the first one. I will define the reaction once again. Carboxylic acids in which at least one alpha hydrogen is present reacts with chlorine in the presence of red phosphorus to give you alpha chlorocarboxylic acid. If you take ethanoic acid, you get alpha chloroethanoic acid. If you get propanoic acid, you get alpha chloropropanoic acid. At alpha carbon you are removing the hydrogen, means at alpha carbon only you have to add the halogen, which can be chlorine or bromine, fluorine or iodine. Okay. Now let us look at the next named reaction. Now we will look at the next named reaction, which is called as carbyl amine reaction. Right. Here what you should take: any compound in which primary amines are present. Primary amine means NH2. Secondary amines means NH. Tertiary amines means only N. Secondary amine cannot undergo carbyl amine reaction. Tertiary amine also cannot undergo carbyl amine reaction. You have to take primary amines only, whether with 2 carbons, with 1 carbon, 3 or 4. But the amino group should be NH2 only, not NH nor just N. Because if you take NH, it becomes a secondary amine. If you take just N, it becomes tertiary amine. They cannot undergo this reaction. For every reaction you must remember the condition, then only the reaction becomes correct. Otherwise with wrong reagents you cannot perform that reaction. Okay. So it has to be primary amines only. Shall we take the reaction with a single carbon? Let us. What is the name of this compound? Methyl amine. Primary amines react with chloroform. What is the formula of chloroform? CHCl3 in the presence of KOH or along with KOH. Along with KOH to give you a compound which is foul smelling compound called as isocyanide. What is the compound here? Isocyanide in which, sorry, NH2 not NH3. CH3 as it is NH2. Here what happens is 2 hydrogens from nitrogen will be removed and 1 hydrogen from chloroform will be removed. Total how many? 3. 1, 2, 3. This is NC, or you see double bond N double bond C, which is called as NC isocyanide. Now where are the 3 chlorines and 3 potassiums? If chlorines are 3 in the chloroform, then you should take 3 KOH. So 3 chlorines from chloroform and 3 potassiums from KOH will give you 3 KCl, right? 1 hydrogen, 2 hydrogens, total 3 plus 3 here. 6 hydrogens plus 3 oxygen. What can you get? Water, right? Elimination of water takes place between chloroform, primary amine and KOH to give you isocyanide, in which CH3N is from one compound and C, which is coming at the end, is from chloroform, right? So who can do that? Only primary amines can do that to give you isocyanide. NC means isocyanide. If it was CH3CN, that means it is called as just cyanide. Carbyl amine is the other name for isocyanide, not for cyanide. This reaction is to prepare isocyanide of any carbons. With methylamine, you get methyl isocyanide. With ethylamine, you get ethyl isocyanide. Same way propylamine means propyl isocyanide. Shall we do with some other carbons? Let us do. What is the name of this compound? Propylamine. Reacts with chloroform. You always remember chloroform with KOH is carbylamine reaction only. But if you remember chloroform with NaOH and a benzene, phenol chloroform NaOH, means it was which reaction? Kolth reaction, right? Sorry, which reaction? It was Rimmer-Tiemann reaction. You have to remember the combination to get the correct name. Benzene, phenol with CHCl3 and KOH means Rimmer-Tiemann. Phenol with carbon dioxide plus NaOH means Kolb, and amine with chloroform and KOH means it is carbylamine reaction. Same KOH I will take 3 times. What happens? CH3 bond CH2 bond CH2 bond N and C from the chloroform. Only C we are taking, H and 3Cls we are leaving behind. H will go in the form of water, Cl3 will go in the form of KCl, right? So you got methyl isocyanide here and propyl isocyanide there. Whichever isocyanide it is, all isocyanides will give a very foul smell. Okay, so this reaction is preparation of isocyanide. Isocyanide is commonly called as carbylamine, so the name of the reaction is carbylamine reaction. Till now we have seen named reactions which are very important. There are some more named reactions also which are equally important, which we will see in the next class. Okay, thank you.